In ancient times, when we didn't have cars, bungalows, labels to show that I'm wearing this label, you are wearing that label, I'm driving this label vehicle, you are driving that label vehicle. All those things weren't available. All we had was jewelry, gold, silver, and some precious stones. That's about it. And so people used to not worry too much, at least in the society that is. Of course, the kings and queens and the politicians would do what they are supposed to do and what they do normally. But in general, the societal gap between the very, very well off, very rich people financially and average people, living standards were not that different. So let me give you an example. There was a very well-off family living just across my house, and they had a lot of financial wealth, lots of it. But they ate exactly what food we ate, simple home cooked meals. Although they had too much money, they didn't invest in horse and carriage and all those things at that time. Even car, I don't think they had a car. They could afford multiple cars, but they didn't get it. They said, we don't need it. A scooter is all good enough for us. We don't need a car. And that was a very similar lifestyle to the rest of the people around. So there is a big survey, in fact, I have read of, and that is, I'm sure somebody can find it and put it as a link. And that is, people don't get upset about inequalities if they don't see it around them. Let me explain. So if you live in an area which is not very well off, but everybody else in that area is similarly not very well off, generally people are all right with it. Now, if you contrast that situation with another one, and that is, you have an area where say 50-60% people are below average or in a financial destitute situation, and then other percentage of people are living very well off, rich and lavish lifestyles. What happens is that the poor think we are too poor, and then what do? They show their anger in various ways, and you know about it. And so this inequality of life standards is what drives these societal problems as well. And this is where we are talking about that greed increases slowly in life when you get materialistic things around you to show for. So to get more, suppose my neighbor has a nicer car, my neighbor has a nicer house, and my wife goes to meet them all and sees their kitchen, their house, and she comes home saying, I don't think our house is up to mark. Well, we should do something about it. Look what particular latest model of a car they have. Look what big television they have. Did you see what bags they carry? What brand that is? And so the family starts thinking, okay, well, let's do this. We need more money to match the neighbor's lifestyle, basically keep up with the Joneses. We need to find more money. Now, money comes in various ways, good and bad. But for general public, I'm talking about, what they would try to do is go to a job that they know and put in more effort. So suppose if somebody is working in a factory, there are millions and millions of people working in the factory nowadays, isn't it? They used to always. So say for example, this person goes to their factory and thinks, I need more money. What will he do or she do? Just ask the manager saying, give me more hours, give me more time to work on the work floor so that I can accrue more hours of work, and so I can get more money. With that more money, I can build a better house like my neighbor. I can get a better car like my neighbor. And this, and I know, is not enough. So what happens is, the family starts to rope in the other members. So, anybody who's sitting around, say there is a lovely lady who is handling the family, she has a toddler in her hands and one baby in a pushchair, and she's taking that kid to the school while the husband has gone to the job. She was a homemaker, say for example. Now, what to do? If she's a homemaker and only one guy is going to earn money and they want to match up with their neighbors, you guessed it right. Put that baby in the hand into the babysitting place and take that lady from making home, from cooking, cleaning, sorting the house and the family, the chores that they have shared between themselves. This guy goes early in the morning, does an hour's commute, does an 8-9 hour shift, comes back another 1.5 hour commute, totally knackered, equally like the bride who is knackered after doing all those family chores. And that's the division they have planned. I'm talking about a traditional family. Now what's happening is that in the evening when they come home, the bride is told that we need more money, and for more money, why don't you come to my work or any other work that you know of, and you also go to work. Stop building this family. Don't worry about children and their training and their character and whatever you want to do extra. Leave the kids to the babysitters. Hope and pray, and there are a lot of good babysitters in this world who will do a very, very good job. Go to them and leave your kids there. And you, my lady, the maker of the home, the holder of the home, to the person who is keeping it together, leave all that tasks. Put on the boots. Just like your man, you both are equals, remember. You also go and do that 8-hour shift. You also do a 2-hour commute. And when you come back, you feel proud. You feel proud that I made equal. And by the way, nowadays it's not equal. Good news for women. Women are making more money into the bracket of 20 to 30 years old age. More women are graduating from universities than men. Congratulations. More power to you, ma'am. I wish you all the best. So, that's the good news. What's the flip side? Less and less men are doing graduation. What to do? There is no match. You got lots of women doing very well, and more power to you. I'm all for it. But less and less men are doing good. So what is happening is there is a disparity happening in the society, but that's the talk of a different chapter. I'm going towards a different one today. And so when we come forward, we see greed, greed and greed. The family takes any and every member of the family and puts them to work. That way they all put hard work in to make money. Main task one. They give less time to prayers. They give less or no times to meditation. They have no time left to go to the gym and exercise. They have no time left for holding hands and walking in a park because they are working 7 days a week, flat out, to make more and more and more. Do you see where this is going? And to get more and more and get these families in, they all keep on working hard. They ask for more hours. They ask for more jobs, more tasks, more projects, more assignments. And that way they are going to make more money. And congratulations, now you are a workaholic. The whole family, whoever can work, is working and everybody is making money. Money is coming, but then the problem starts. So, let's translate this into a practical example. I have lots of friends in England, in UK, who have come from Africa or whose parents came from Africa. Basically, they had challenges in Uganda and they got kicked out, and then they chose to come to England because they also had British passports. So you have that group of diaspora in England, and I've got a lot of friends in that kind of group. What I found was something very unique, at least in most of the cases, and that is, most of the people who came from Africa, they were very hard-working people. They were family people. They were loving people. They were caring people. So, they had good work ethic, and women were mostly helping with the business and homemaking at the same time. But it wasn't like a 9 to 5 job and a 2-hour commute. So women would chip in here and there with the husband's business, and children would chip in as well here and there, but it wouldn't be full on 40-hour week, nothing like that. So it would mix and match kind of situation. What I found was that these people who came from Uganda, because they had very good work ethic, most of them, they worked very, very hard. They put in amazing amount of time. Some people were working more than 100 hours a week. They were working flat out. Because they had to share, they had to live in one house. Usually some people told me they used to be 15 to 20 people living at that time. It was very, very tough for them. They had one bathroom between 20 people. Imagine you want to visit the bathroom and there is a queue in front of you. They faced all this and lots of other hurdles. But by their hard work, they became successful. But now is the crux of the story. This is 30, 40 years ago. Even today, their children and themselves, I see, work similar hours. So if they were working 100 hours or 80 hours at that time, I have friends and families who are still working that hard. Do you see? It's kind of you put your car into a particular gear and then you are stuck with that speed. You don't reduce or increase, you're just stuck with it. When we find out that we have got somebody who's a workaholic, or yourself a workaholic, you get two situations at the same time. Remember, this world is created in duality, dvandva. Not going into that too much just now. It's a duality, meaning you get two kinds of outputs. So you get the positive and the negative. So what's the positive of workaholism? Yippee, a lot of money. So you can have bling, you can have nice branded watches, branded logo dresses, branded badge, nice cars. You can afford good things, finer things in life. So that's the dividend of workaholism. But there is always a payment. You have to pay for this. So what's the payments? Let me see. You lose the idea of time. And to do anything good in life, you need time. So when you get more funds, more resources, you get less time for the other duties. So you have less time to teach your family, youngsters, how to be a good citizen, because you are busy working, remember? You're making a lot of money. You have less time for playing and having good time with your family, because you're working hard. You remember, you're a workaholic. You got no time for things like that. You don't have time for each other in partnership. So suppose you are married, say for example, you don't have time for each other. Husband is busy in his way, wife is busy in her way, and they are both busy, busy, busy. Why? That's the payment you pay, that you don't have time for each other. You don't have time to respect your elders because you are busy making money. Remember, overtime. You're working overtime. You're burning the midnight oil and you're toiling. How do you have time to go and visit your family and have a laugh and chat? No, you don't. You don't have time for your faith, for your prayers, doing meditation and prayers, doing charity, good things in life. Because everything that you want to do in life requires at least three things. You need your physical effort, mana, mental effort, and dhana, money. We call it tana, mana, dhana. You need to give three things for anything to happen. You need to give time, you need to give effort, and you need to pay with something. It could be some kind of a resource. And you don't have that because you're giving most of your time, most of your physical energy, and the emotional and physical and brain resources to your job. You want to make a lot of money. You don't have time for anything else. So yes, you have all of that, but you start losing all of this, and that is, you lose the integrity of the family. Family slowly withers away. Emotional management is a challenge now of each other in the family. Social management is a challenge. Guess what? Financial management also starts to get challenging. And you forget how to care for yourself, your family, and forget about the community and the country you live in, because all the time you're giving time to you and you. Why? Because you want lots and lots of more. You want more of this and more of that. And that's why, my dear brothers and sisters, what I've seen is happening nowadays in the society is that people are having this breakdown where they are one point focused. Nothing is more important. Every waking moment, they are either on social media or workaholism. Or the third thing, if they have time, then it's a me time. I deserve it. I'm special. I'm good. Everything is about me, 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 me. I like this. This is not my way. I don't like this. This is not how it should be. I want it this particular way. Why don't you do it my way? Everywhere selfishness creeps in. Why? Because in the first place you did that. More. Remember, you want more of everything. You want more labels. You want more badges. You want more bling. Everything is more. And the fashion doesn't stop. I have never seen, see, I'm coming to 50 years old in my life, and I haven't seen 1 year out of my 50 years where the fashion stopped. The fashion industry said, time out, we are not making any more fashion today. Nope. They are constantly at it. They are making more and more innovations, more and more designs and styles. In fact, I've heard nowadays we have a disposable fashion. What is a disposable fashion? I found out that apparently they change fashion every week. Amazing! Only if we could use that new fashion every week without hurting Mother Nature. That's not the case. And so this is how the society collapse slowly starts. People become greedy. They work more and more hours. They have less and less hours for other good things in life. And they end up grumpy, unhappy. Relationships suffer. Everything starts to crumble. And that's what, my dear brothers and sisters, our greed takes us. But still, there is a lot more journey to happen after this. So, with workaholism, when we do too much of it, there are other things that suffer. One of the sufferings, the big ones, is our mental health goes down. We are not so happy so much because we don't have time to give down time to ourselves and our brain. Even sleep at night is not very good because you are worried about getting up in the morning and running straight to your job, getting ready, and you got to finish this, finish that, finish that. pressures. So there is restless sleep, the physical health goes down, the emotional and mental health goes down. Of course, there is very little spirituality time left, so even spirituality is going down, down, down in that family. So a workaholic family loses all these things. And do you know where the biggest problem is? The biggest problem is spirituality and good karma, being a good citizen, being a nice neighbor, being a good brother, sister, friend. All these core skills are at very, very low level in children because the parents are busy working, making money. They don't have time to build the character, to build their emotions, to build their lifestyle for the children and hold their hand and guide them through all that because they are busy with their work, and so children end up with screens. They might have an old phone or a new phone. They might have an old iPad or a new iPad. They might have an old TV or new TV. But regardless, they give heavy amount of time to that screens because parents chose to work extremely hard, time-wise as well. And it was all about finding a balance, but remember, it's not always easy to find a balance as well. And so we see that there is huge loss in children because children also see the parents, that parents are after materialistic things. The parents are also after logos, badges, the marketing media. And so the children learn this at a very young age. And the advertisement agencies are working day in, day out with the social media to brainwash children into buying brands. And so we are seeing nowadays children very, very young are focused on brands. They are not focused on maths, science, technology. They are more focused and more aware about these things. So marketing is clearly doing its job, but we are all the losers because our next generation, our future generation who's going to run this world is struggling and suffering the lack of attention, lack of guidance, lack of character building, lack of spirituality. They are lacking so much. I would say it is not fair on today's generation. They are facing a lot more tyranny and trouble in a different way than our ancestors did. And so we see greed brings us to extraordinary amount of hours that we give for making money. And when we give more hours to that, we have less hours and times to do good things in life. And when our children and our family are not connected with their motherland, they are not connected in the sense emotionally with the country that they live in. They are lacking patriotism. And when there is lack of patriotism, huge problems comes. Because let alone the country, you are in a problem. How? Let me explain. If there is no identifying way of saying that I am from this particular country and I'm proud of it, that means you don't have belonging. In one way, you want to find ways to belong to each other. So, when a person is thinking about more, when a person is thinking about getting more and more for themselves, me, then that person starts losing self-respect. Because that person knows in their heart of heart, they are being selfish. They are only looking after themselves. They are not thinking of others. And the sense of pride also goes down. Faith in religion goes down. And country and community suffers. These people are not very patriotic. They don't want to go to the country and say, I will fight for my country, let alone give my life for my country. This nihilism slowly breeds due to lack of identity. We need people who identify and connect with their motherland, with their culture, with their tradition. If that is missing, then these are the situations that happen. These are the situations that happen that people don't even look after themselves, let alone they look after the country or even join the army, navy and air force. This is how nihilism's seed is sown. When you have lack of patriotism in people, when you have too much red tape going on, when you have political people making wrong decisions, you get innumerable new issues coming up. One of them is having people in your country who look after you. Now, to run a country, you need people. You cannot feed a baby, a small baby, by robotics, at least not yet today. To drive car, you need people. To drive trucks and lorries, you need people. To fly planes, you need people. Now, I know some keyboard warriors will say, oh, Mr. Bhatt, AI is going to catch up on all that. Yes, 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 I know and I agree with you as well. But it will take some time. Until then, you need some people to build the trains. You need some people to build the roads and the motorways. You need people to build the factories. You need people to build the buildings. You need human beings. And we are lacking in that situation. England doesn't have enough children. UK doesn't have enough children. The replacement level is, I think, 2.1 per family. So per family there should be 2.1 kids. Let alone having 2.1, we are not even having family. The marriage is at all-time low. The family troubles are at all-time high. People not committing. I have also heard of something called MGTOW, meaning, men going their own way. So if that is happening and girls are saying, we don't want to, bring down our levels, and they shouldn't, why should they? More power to you. So women are going better and better at what they are doing, like education, like skills, getting more payment, getting ahead in life. And the men are struggling in the other side, and so we don't have families, not enough. We don't have enough children. So we don't have enough skilled people. And when we don't have skilled people, the system breaks because you need skilled people to keep it running. And so what the European countries, some of them are doing, is a disastrous thing. And you can see the disaster is in front of your eyes. Germany invited, opened the doors and said, anybody, everybody, come in, just come in. I think the main reason was they don't have enough kids. They don't have enough specialist people. They might have thought, okay, let's get these millions of people, we'll train them and get them to the jobs and our factories will work again. Over here in England as well, we got so many people, oh my goodness, I don't know how to drive. It's a struggle to drive in England nowadays. Always traffic jams. Parking issues huge. Housing impossible. We got too many people. Our classes are full, our hospitals are full, our roads are full. But the government can't do anything about it because we have something called a red tape. And then we've got those on the left who like to say, the country can go to the dogs. But we are going to keep on inviting these people. There are some good people as well. I know some people who are up to no good, who are one of those migrants. And I know some of the good ones as well. So you always get good and bad, but the problem is different. The problem over here is uniquely different, and that is, in England, we are seeing lots of migrants, they are men, predominantly men. So all these boats and people coming in lorries and so on, majority proportion is men. Most of them throw away their passports. So no identity, they just seek asylum. They use all possible skills, good or bad, to get the citizenship, to get the benefits. And as we know, currently our country is paying millions to home these migrants. Now there are some good, genuine people who need help and we should help them. But what is happening is the system is so lucrative, so nice, that scrupulous people are also trying to misuse our UK system. They're getting in and they're causing issues for us. How? Let me give you one or two examples. We have seen a lot of unrest and troubles and fights and societal breakdowns in the areas where these people have come. And I think that is due to one reason, and that is these people are not vetted people. Basically, the country, the diplomacy doesn't know who is coming to the UK. This person, suppose 50 people came in today by this boat. We don't know whether they come in peace or war, whether they are terrorists or they are going to be tax-paying good citizens. We don't know. They come from an unknown country with an unknown strategy, with an unknown credit file. And this is the problem. We have ticking time bombs going around in our society. I think we have troublemakers going around hidden, and I hope I'm wrong on that, because we've got too many foreign men coming in without their families, and we don't know why they came other than the money. So that is red flags.